Thanks for inviting me here, and I'm very happy to come here to talk about my topics. And yeah, my name is Seppo. I'm from University, and so I'm an astronomer. I've been doing this for my life, this kind of weather star studies, and yeah, I am mostly concentrated on cataclysmic variables of different kind, and especially magnetic systems. And I have studied in Turku my master thesis, and after that I did my PhD in Turku. My supervisor was EuroVS2013, so that's why I'm so interested in polarimetry. But also many other astronomers in Turku have been for the polarimetry, and especially the Finnish astronomers are very generally quite many involved in somehow polarimetry, spectral polarimetry, whatever. Especially if you talk about some ISO astronomers like the Andreas Kaufer, the Paranal director, once said that, you Finnish always do some polarimetry. That's what they easily talk. And said then some other Finnish might have to be explained. No, we are not doing the polarimetry. Everybody are doing the polarimetry. So there are just the very active groups, and yeah. Anyway, and so I'm one of those who is very keen on polarimetry and this kind of studies.
Also make it full screen?
Well, maybe we'll have the full screen, but it is limited a little bit here in the laptop screen, and I actually tested it, but maybe if it doesn't bother too much, I will keep it here because I don't know. I tried to get it somehow from here, the full screen, to jump here, but
it's possible but complicated.
Yeah, I'm still happy at least with the Linux that it works in that way. Yeah. Okay, but okay. Let's hope that you can still follow this, but it's not exactly full scale. Okay, very shortly, what is some of them you might be very, let's say, familiar with these cataclysmic variables, but if not everybody are familiar. Even if you keep a seminar in professional astronomers, that's what I normally explain quite a lot of what are these targets and what kind of systems they are, because you kind of assume that everybody knows exactly how the cataclysmic variables are, what kind of systems they are. So they are binary star systems in which the separation of the components is comparable to the diameter of the stars. They're very close binaries. We have also different binaries, and some of them are very wide, but now in these cataclysms we are talking about very, very, very close systems. And very compact. Actually, it means that the number is like a normal red dwarf, but the main star is very compact. And in cataclysmic is white dwarf, and if you replace the white dwarf with a neutron star or small mass black hole, then you get this system is called X-ray, low mass X-ray binary. But I mostly studied the cataclysmic, which means you have a white dwarf in the center. So that's how that explains a little bit. And so the key here is this Roche law. So there will be this mass transfer that this secondary field, the Roche law, and mass transfer starts to flow towards this primary, this is the white dwarf. And normally that we have an accuracy in this. We have then the special cases where the accuracy in this is formation of accuracy in this is prevented due to the huge magnetic field strength. And that's which I have really concentrated these targets, especially in my PhD work several years ago, mostly about those. And yeah, this is the hardest impression how it's normally how we assume it should look like. So the secondary is quite cool, red dwarf, some let's say 3,000 or 4,000 Kelvin surface degrees, a little bit cooler than Sun, and small mass star, and white dwarf here. Okay, so what are these? So they're compact semi-detached binaries, and yeah, white dwarf and red dwarf are, and red dwarf is filling the Roche law, and Roche law is you can calculate it from parameters. So there's a theoretical surface where when it's finally reached this, the massive accuracy starts. And there are a few cases in this evolution of these binaries. There is a moment when it's lost this contact. So the so-called period gap between the orbital periods 2 and 3 hours where the different instabilities, these stars shrinks a little, and it's where it feels Roslow again when the orbital period will be reduced down to 2 hours and then the mass transfer starts. So it's very important. And also most of the people never even realize that this kind of a system is actually never going to work if the system parameters are not constantly in the change. I mean that because there's a mass transfer. So this the mass ratio changes also constantly. And if there wouldn't be, even though despite that there has never been any measurements of the gravitational radiation, we need here as an explanation where the system loses its angular momentum. We need an idea that it loses part of this angular momentum via gravitational radiation, so it can do this constant adjusting, and this Roslow contact will be maintained and the accuracy will go on. Otherwise, without this losing of angular momentum, the system will stop quite soon being an accuracy system. So why? Why these? Why on earth somebody would be interested in these, even professional level? So especially the very short orbital period systems, a few hours, which they typically have, they make them very interesting. You could do lots of observations, and they repeat the cycles, get some statistic, like so many others kind of astronomical studies. The time scales might be very long, tens of years, maybe even totally chaotic, like most of the quasar studies in the Tuoron observatory. There's about half of people who are studying the quasars. And I even studied my master level studies, and did my master thesis actually from quasars. And there's only one system in OJ287 which is known to have some kind of periodicity within 12 years. But even 12 years is quite a boring time scale to study something. But here you can, within a few nights, collect several cycles from these stars to get some reliable data. And even what's recently have been very interested in the AMCD and actually the AMCD and AM Cardis Venati stars. They are double generate systems which can be only like the orbital period like 10 to 20 minutes, which are very extreme. And in the shortest one of these double degenerates rotate 5 minutes orbital periods. This is totally incredible. And they are very strong X-ray targets, both soft and hard X-rays, and ultraviolet, infrared, and of course the optical emission. And they actually are one of the strongest X-ray sources in the whole galaxy, especially the intimated polars. And so the accuracy physics laboratories actually. And in some of these small fraction of these systems have very strong magnetic fields, which is extremely strong. Maybe even not that strong like in some of these neo-pulsar and neutron stars, but not maybe 1 or 2 decades less. But let's say like 100 and 200 megagauss magnetic field. This is a huge. Like you compare the magnetic field strength in the solar spots, which is about this 1 kilogauss. Yeah. But here we are talking about megagauss and 100 megagauss, or 200 megagauss sometimes. Yeah, and of course the classical nova belongs to this cataclysmic. Classical nova have the large outburst of 60, even like something like 19 magnitude. Outburst of a classical nova is a result of the terminal runaway in the matter activity on the surface of white dwarf, which acts an expanding envelope. And especially interesting cases are recurrent nova. There are 10 galactic recurrent nova known. And okay, this is how the typical nova light curve flow shows it. Brightens up to that, let's say like more than 10 magnitudes just within a few days, and then finally fades back to the normal well, let's say within a few tens of days, sometimes might last a few months or maybe 1 year almost. So maximum visual brightness occurs in this cluster when the so-called pseudo-photosphere reaches its maximum radius. And after the ejection, the hydrogen remaining on the still white dwarf continues burning near the electron limit for several weeks, up to several years. So, and it's very good example of the recurrent outbursts of several magnitudes repeating every 10 to 80 years. An example is T-Pyx. Actually, T-Pyx had something like about 20 years something. It actually was found in Henrietta Levy early 20th century from the photographic plates, and it had like 1966, and then there was a long gap, an exceptional long gap until just 2011 and 2012 it had this outburst. Some people even were worried about that because there was an unexceptional long period without a nova outburst that this might explode as a supernovae. And what was the distance? Is it 3,000 light years or something like that? Some people were worried about that if it might have effect on life on Earth. Maybe it was 3 years ago, something. One research group in AA, the American Astronomical Society annual meeting, maybe they just wanted to publicity, but they published, the abstract was about will this T-Pyx explode as in supernovae, and it somehow spread around the media in the whole world, and there was, you can still find it using Google those articles, and what will happen if the T-Pyx will explode as a supernova. Okay, Arto will talk about more T-Pyx tomorrow, and Arto has some ideas of will it explode or not, but so Arto will tell you more about that. So, okay, some interesting subclasses among these which I have been studying is polars and intermediate polars. Polars are the strongest magnetic field systems, and intermediate, well, they are somewhat intermediate. They do have quite strong magnetic fields, but actually nobody, has been the last 30 years an interesting question, because it's always assumed that they have a much weaker field than these polars. But they always said that they have to have something like 1 million megawatt probably. But in recent years we have identified several new intermediate polars which have shown similar magnetic field strength than the polars. So there's a good question: what makes them different? Okay, they do have an accuracy disk, and they rotate asynchronized. Okay, these AMCVs are these double-decker arrays, very interesting. Okay, what's the AMCV? Carnot magnetic core star. Both are white dwarfs, so double-decker array. And the accretion disk, which might be is composed primarily of helium, and actually the whole star there, some of these are mostly helium stars. The rest of orbital periods, about 24 is known, and shortest orbital period is 5 minutes. And the shortest longest one had 40 minutes. So, like with the Katajainen parable, the shortest orbital periods, when you have a main sequence star, or at least almost main sequence stars, as a secondary, it's about 65 to 70 minutes. Well, even there's a problem with the observations and theories, like people have just observed CV shortest just about 80 minutes orbital period, whereas the theorists say that it should be 65. But anyway, these guys can rotate much faster because they are basically stars.
So the question there, so these systems are immensely more compact than any regular star system.
Yes.
And especially the EVO system can be. So these have had to contract a lot the orbit. So what kind of timescales we are talking about from the formation of a system like this, both stars becoming degenerate, till you can get this contact?
I don't remember. Maybe it's still some few hundreds of millions of years still, because they have because they are still white dwarfs, and they are not very massive stars when they originate.
where they originate, they are still like the solar mass stars more or less. They are not like the very massive stars might just evolve within a few millions of years, but I would guess that it takes still a few hundred of millions of years to evolve.
But it doesn't take billions of years from the formation of the white clouds to get something like that. So it's still a reasonable time scale.
Yeah, yes. And also, interesting here, which Arto might talk, I don't know how much Arto will talk about this recurrent nova TPUs, but for example, they provide one way to produce 1A supernovae. And I would guess that in the near future we will soon get some more info about this classical CVs that actually there are not many kind of systems where you can produce 1A supernovae. Despite that, people always again here assume that that's a classical supernova will, like some recurrent nova, will finally go close to the Chandrasekhar limit, the main white dwarf, and WOM. It will be exploded as a 1A supernova. It actually is not that straightforward, easy. There are some evidences that it might be not go exactly like that at all. But these kind of very weird cases, like you have two degenerate stars rotating each very closely, and if they're enough massive, of course, not all of these, even the number of these is very small, but not all of these are so that so if they merge, then it will be Chandrasekhar mass. Like they might be like both of these are like a half or solar mass, even less. But there are a few cases where it could be possible. And of course, we know only so little, small number of these. There are some theoretical estimates that there should be easily 1 million of these in galaxy or so. And this is very interesting. And I guess that in the near future we will need more like these to show that where the 1A supernovas are coming. Okay, then these strongly magnetic systems, the polars, they are even so strong that the rotation of the primary system is locked with strong magnetic fields which are up to even the 200 megagauss. And also this accretion here is captured out of the magnetic field lines, so-called Calvin reasons. So there is no accretion these. Or in this so-called intermediate polars, they have a disk. But the intermediate polars, they do have a disk, but this is the polar. So the material is falling to the two poles from here along the field lines. But the intermediate polars, they have a disk, but there's a certain area where finally the material is captured along the field lines towards the white pole. Okay. And so, in Katajainen purpose, the plasma is decelerated from supersonic speed, which are about like 5,000 kilometers to subsonic speeds, and the material is heavily heated in this breaking, and then it's okay, when it's heated, then it has to cool. And this cooling is actually producing all the interesting things, like this brainstorm and cyclotron, and contour cooling, and what we see as X-rays, hard X-rays, soft X-rays, and optical, like infrared and the cyclotron is in optical and infrared. And actually that's what we are observing, the growth of different cooling processes in these systems. And especially this is when the magnetic field line and the electrons are spiraling in the magnetic field, it produces this cyclotron emission. Okay, so the cyclotron emission comes when there's a magnetic field and the electron is spiraling. Because the cyclotron emission and the speed of these electrons are like the 1/10 of the speed of light. Like, especially this extragalactic plasma, you have that magnetic fields might be, and in the magnetic field, the electron is spiraling almost the speed of the light. It's called a synchrotron radiation. And here the cyclotron emission is when you have a little less speed in these electrons, they are not that fast like in synchrotron. And it produces typically this kind of humps in the spectra, broad humps in the spectra, which are easily detected in spectroscopy. Well, not that easy to have either high or low state of the system, or either then you have to extract the secondary star light away from the cellular model, so it's not very straightforward actually. And when we look directly at the feed line, upward motion is circular, and this is producing so very rare phenomenon, circular polarized books about the astronomy handbook and let's say the basic fundamental astronomical books in university lectures, they might mention that, okay, the circular polarization is so rare that we don't need in astronomy. And normally in astronomy, polarization means linear polarization. Almost all those books normally just ignore that there is a circular. But in these weird systems, we do have circular polarization.
By the way, just as a comment to that, it's also when we are studying magnetic fields on stars, you want to study polarization of the light due to the magnetic field, or polarization of the spectral lines. And the polarization isn't very strong, but it's actually easier to detect the circular polarization. So many people are in fact, all people are using only the circular polarization because that's the only thing you can use. The linear one is so weak you can't detect.
Yes, quite often. Also here, same the linear, because in this strong magnetic system, we can most of the time we can see in the spectrum the circular, but we can also see the during the short fraction of the orbital period, we can see the moment where the field line is seen side on, an electron spiraling around the field line will appear to be oscillating perpendicularly to the field line. And in that short moment, we can detect the so-called linear polarization pulse. But it's also very important if you think about this binary system, because this linear polarization, especially these pulses, when you see it exactly perpendicularly to the field line, you can then fix the geometry exactly, get the orbital inclination. And that's why the linear polarization measurements are important. And from the, if you get all the orbital inclination, then you can finally get from the mass ratio what are the real masses of the binary components, etc., etc. Okay, and then the secondaries are the main sequence stars. Well, might be most cases, but sometimes non-solar abundances are present and they might be slightly warm. Okay, and the final evolution, especially this is one of the main reasons why we are studying. What's the final evolution of this? And especially this 1A supernovae. Because 1A supernovae are nowadays, since the late 1990s, been very popular to use all the astronomers. Half of the astronomers are mostly studying the extragalactic things, cosmological things, and they're always just assuming that they're always exactly like the minus 19.3 magnitude when the 1A supernovae explodes. But, well, there are even nowadays some studies and research groups which might in the future show that it's not that straightforward. Even the standard candles might not be standard exactly all the time. There are possibilities that, like which I said, like these AMCV stars. If there are enough massive white dwarf which merge and it will explode as 1A supernovae. But it might be that when it explodes, if there are enough massive, like a little bit more than one solar mass, it produces the explosion. So there's a two solar mass, more than two solar mass actually. It goes over the Sanderson limit, and even there are now a few papers published where people are talking about super Sanderson mass. So that it might stay even after the merging, if it's rotating fast, it might stay short time without immediately exploding as a 1A supernovae. And so I guess that the astrophysics is not yet exactly ready here. Okay, but then polarization as a tool. So I have been using this as my main tool in the studies, which are using the large telescope in these variable stars. Okay, the magnetic field strength estimates, and also the modeling the location and size of the accretion region on the surface of the white dwarf, where this, I saw the picture, this painting where they show that this accretion flow is close to the two different poles of the magnetic system. And they always have two poles. Of course, like every magnet has two poles, but the accretion on the different poles is not always, it's always a little bit different. It might be that just the one accretion pole is dominating and another string, the other pole is much bigger. It's quite often the case. So even these spots, they are not, some systems it's okay that they are round shaped small, but quite often they spread like something like a pencil shape. and it varies. Some systems have larger accuracy reasons than the others are more compact. And okay, orbital inclination measurements for the linear polarization is a very important tool. And they can also be used to reveal the spin period of the waveform. These are the massive photometric campaigns in some systems. You have especially these unsynchronized systems, always very traditionally very tricky using the FFTs and clean algorithm to find what's the real like the spin period and what's the orbital period. If you have lots of the sidebands in the FFTs, it's not very straightforward to say that okay, this is that period and that's the V period. But if the system is magnetic and okay, and the magnetics, the polarization originates close to the surface of the waveform. So if you can see this clear period in circular polarization variability, so you can then quite often say, fix that, okay, that's the real spin period of the waveform. That's why it's only one. So we are doing this kind of modeling, a little bit like what you saw previously, a little bit similar kind of modeling, assume that we can vary the location of these spots, accuracy spots. They are always a little bit tilted, or the magnetic pole is tilted from this rotating, and then we try to fit the light curves, and especially important the circular polarization variation using the cyclone initial models. Okay, tools for magnetic CV. One of the main tools has been UT1 nowadays. Previously it was UT2, but now UT1 with the force instrument force at the ESO. This is a multi-mode instrument, a little bit similar like the alpha scatter node, so imaging polarimetry, mostly the multi-object spectroscopy, etc. Optical instrument mounted at the Katajainen focus. So important here that's in Katajainen focus. And that's why the polarimetric telescope is also perfect for the polarimetry, because, and actually that's why Johannes Andersen was just recently very heavily claiming that that's due to Finnish biases. It was made in 1980, so due to Finnish demands that it has to have a Katajainen focus, because due to polarimetry. I mean, if you put in some Nazareth focus, the polarimetry instrument, it will have a pointing, bending instrumental polarization, which is quite tricky to model and quite awful to handle these kind of effects. So the whole polarization instrument should go in Katajainen, here the force, and the force works in a optical wavelength up to the near infrared, and you can have lambda 2 or lambda 4 plate. So lambda 2 makes the possible linear polarization measurement, and lambda 4 makes the possible circular polarization. And here's some pictures from, for example, last February when me and Arto was there. We had this T-Pyx project. This is the force. This is the small instrument at the really, like those which are the platform, these national platforms here are much more bigger in this size. And even this is the size of the small small car, almost like a small car, similar size. Yeah. Okay. And the historical telescope in Alabama has been a very powerful tool, and yeah, especially the turbo, which is nowadays used by quite a few people. But for example, I have done it previously quite often, but not so much recently, because with the turbo you can actually go up to the 17th magnitude stars, but recently if you have some new X-ray targets which are easily 19th or 20th magnitude, then you have to choose the alphas due to some imaging polarimetry. And why we need a big telescope here, the polarimetry? The main reason is the high signal to noise what we need for polarimetry. For polarimetry astronomy, if you want to do like in circular polarimetry, you need accuracy of 0.5%, which is not high accuracy actually, it's quite low. Then you should get a signal to noise 100 to 140 about. But if you want to go something like 0.3% accuracy in polarimetry, you need a signal to noise 240. Something like that. And easily you want to go even higher than that. Something like the signal to noise 300, 400. to get the errors as small as if you are hunting very weak polarization effect, and if you have a 1% error bars, then it's almost desperate to hunt some very weak effects. But this means a lot of photos, and that's why the turbo has been actually quite good for bright target, because it has a photo quality, and it's a totally linear system from 0 to 2 million counts. And this is very important. If you do a polarimeter, you can get something like 2 million counts. But with the CCDs, this pattern it's a bright target. You have this quite limited linearity up to the 65,000. So that's why with the bright target, the turbo is totally superior to do the accurate polarimetry. But of course, when if the target is 19 magnitude and you try to do polarimetry with turbo, it's just a noise. Then you have to have something like this alpha. This is alpha, this is turbo. But even the spectral polarimetry, we cannot, you can go that 15 magnitude, something like that. And even with that, with the H-meter class VLT, and if you want to do the spectral polarimetry, reasonable limits are like something like 17 magnitude. You cannot do the any reasonable spectral polarimetry with VLT, the target which are 20 magnitude of enter. Or you can do the imaging polarimetry of those up to the 21, 22 magnitude. But in the photometry, the VLT limits are something like 27. Okay, depends how high the signal and noise you need, but in practical it's something like 27 magnitude what you can do with the photometry. Then imaging polarimetry 22, 21, spectral polarimetry 17 magnitude only. That's actually it will drop with the spectral polarimetry when you put the walls on the prism, slit everything there between the detector and the light source. You drop the 10 magnitude from the limit magnitude away in VLT. And there has been many cases, the targets we have been running to make an application, a proposal for observing that, and we have realized that, oh God, it's too small telescope, even this 8 million class. And that's the problem. Yeah. Okay, some examples shortly. This is the very short orbital period CV, close to the what has been measured. The short is 79.8 minutes, called GT Leo. Good example of the turbo data. One of the turbo is that you can do the 5 optical bands at the same time. Like you normally with the alphas, etc., if you want to do UV-VRI studies, then you have to do them separately each band. It takes 5 more times time to do first U band, then B band, etc. But here with the turbo you can do it at the same time. Okay, and here you can see this is the 80 minute here and then again. You see here the strong color dependency, the blue almost nothing, and then in the B it starts to be, especially the red part, it shows the up to the 20% the strong optical polarization and then it disappears. Here, how you would explain this? Okay, here the stars is rotating. We start to see this dominating accretion pole. Actually, what is here in optical light curve, see the small eclipse, not actually the eclipse, but the eclipse to the accretion stream. And you can see also in the polarization that sometimes it drops during that when the accretion stream is high. Short time, the hotspot here. Then it rotates. We see here the almost face on the hotspot. Then it finally starts to go behind the corner of the white rod. Then it disappears. And during that moment, we will see the linear data, the linear pulse. And then again, the next cycle starts, and then it goes similar again. And here the photometry. Totally unlimited data here with the turbo, and you can go up to here to 17 magnitude with turbo. And here you can see that, especially in the bluer band, you can see that is short, which is just less than 10 minutes, so just a few minutes short eclipse to the accretion stream here. And interestingly, when you compare this to X-ray satellite data, ROSAT data, you can see exactly with
if using the same phasing and same ephemerate, you could see that there was in an X-ray data similar eclipse with the accretion stream exactly which matched very well these. And so it was very good to see. Okay, then there's some reasonable. Yeah, this accretion stream occultation, you could call it accretion stream occultation here. It matched very well with X-ray data. So, and also the strong dependence here is due to cyclotron beam effect. Strong color dependence here in the photometry as well as in the polarimetry. Okay, and this is a linear polarization which you see mostly this linear pulse during when this circular polarization this spot is behind the corner. This is when you see it in the perpendicular to the magnetic field lines on line of sight. Okay, so we could estimate magnetic field from this color dependence up to the 25-30 megagauss, and orbital inclination from the linear polarization, and most part of the cyclotron emission originates from the accretion region, which is located on these kind of, because some estimates where these hotspots should be. In this case, for example, and then we have very long orbital periods, CV, which had almost 8 hours orbital period. This is one of the longest orbital period cataclysmic variables, especially the magnetic systems. It means that it's quite young system, as they evolve toward a shorter period. And test for the synchronization, and we could see that during our observation over several years, use the polarimetry, it gives some upper limits for the spin and the orbital period differences. It seems that it was very well synchronized despite the very long orbital period. And this was eclipse, this is eclipse system. And interestingly, because during the long orbital period, even the eclipse lasts some 40 minutes, and eclipse has very strong color dependence. Okay, all lost the height data here somewhere. Okay, and very clear polarization, both plus and minus. Okay, and this, where you can see that during the eclipse we have a very low signal levels. That's why there's this large error bars here. Okay, we need also to discover spectroscopy using the H alpha beta helium lines we could do this credit spectrogram. These are the velocities, and you can see like in the H alpha where you can use these for example see where most of the H alpha emission is originated. This is the calculated trajectory of this mass transfer, for example. These are the components, and same with the like H beta where which part of this the system the H beta emission is correct. Okay, this on separate nights, these are like over the different nights within the eclipse changes here. And thanks to this high time resolution of the turbo photometry, we would do these kind of nice studies about the eclipse profile change during the night from the night. Like normally, if you have a classical eclipse system, it goes very quickly, very drops in the eclipse. But here, especially it's an eclipse very deep in the blue and U, so it means that it has a huge accretion stream which has some below. So it's not goes like classical, it just disappears behind the lip of the white open. No, it takes quite long to reach the bottom. And so, okay, the modeling, this was the idea that we see this when it goes to the eclipse, we will see it, and when it comes to either the eclipse or when it comes up from the eclipse, we will see this large accretion stream well before, and that's why it's the shape of the eclipse is like that and not like a classical very fast form. Okay, we got the estimate from this color dependence of circular polarization for magnetic fields up to 50 to 60 megagauss, and orbital inclination was like anyways was an eclipse system. It has to be quite high, but from the linear polarization you get a quite good estimate of these also, and you could model where these hotspots are located. Okay, and then the question was, I have been also this lower system itself have assumed to be less magnetic, like the intermediate polars, but we have recent years in a field like this with the NOT data that
this had a magnetic field like 20 to 30 megavolt, similar strength like in the polars. And yeah, very nice, up to a few percent circular polarization. And yeah, okay. And you can even use this kind of plotting on this system to estimate what is the magnetic field moment of the white dwarf here. So like this spin period versus magnetic moment diagram. So here these letters S, P, D, and R indicates like the parameters. Like in your system, like you just plot here the spin period and, for example, and then this magnetic moment of the white dwarf. Where if it would have like a stream-like accretion, then it should be like here, and propeller here, and the disk accretion is like here, and ring light flow, which is very rare. And the systems try to settle in this line here. So you can use these kind of calculations to model with certain parameters, like what should be the magnetic field moment of the white dwarf. And then you can basically do these kind of estimates for what is the magnetic field magnetic moment of this white dwarf in intermediate polars. Is it much different compared with polars? And yeah, it's a good question. Still, it's not clear that they are less magnetic, at least not all. This was interesting system. 128 seconds, very challenging observation. So this is about 2 minutes. We have got lots of data, of course, and then do the data being. And you could see, especially here in the, with lots of the data, within 2 minutes polarization variation. With target, which was, this is something like 16 or 17 magnitude. Yeah. And this is one of the trickiest, the famous ID Aquarius, which has the shortest spin of the white dwarf. On 33 seconds, white dwarf is spinning. And orbital period is about 12 hours or something. It's very, very unsynchronized system. And this is just think about how difficult this was to observe and to get some binary data finally, which is still quite noisy. So this is the half minute, the orbital of the spin phase here is half minute. So, but we could still see something, some reasonable for this, but it's a little bit marginal detection. And also this IA Aquarius is well known to have a huge variation, especially in the blue, from night to night. One night you might have, especially in the blue band, the totally sporadic variation like this. And the next night there was no flickering, so it's very, very tricky. But it's a propeller system actually. It's just losing mass, it's throwing mass away from the system. This IA Aquarius is very weird. And then some example of VLT used here, the new home by 18 magnitude targets, and 800 something spin period. And VLT is such a powerful, and you could see the circular polarization here. This is totally unbinded. Of course, then you can bin here the data and get the length, but I'll just show the unbinded data from VLT. We get in imaging polarimetry for 18 magnitude target. It's quite powerful with that. But even if we would choose the spectral polarimetry, it would be too faint to do in a reasonable spectral polarimetry. But with the imaging polarimetry, the 18 magnitude target VLT, you can see nice data even with unbinded. See the clearly the polarization here. Okay, that's all. But I could show you a few examples of the one target also. If you have any question of that, I can answer, but then I can show shortly a few that what Arno will talk about more. I can show some very weird things which I have been wondering here. But if you have any question about this, what I just talk, you could ask. Any? Yeah.
Is there any opportunity for amateurs?
Yep, lots of. For example, what Arno and the EuroVS2013 team had, and Sirius had done quite a lot. Because especially the classical nova, they have this like dwarf novae, which has constantly this dwarf novae outburst, and then there are like SU Yuma type novae has quite huge outbursts, and of course the very interesting are recurrent novae, which Arno will talk about tomorrow. And yes, so lots of things to do with small amateur astronaut clubs. But because the monitoring with this large telescope is something what you can do. Despite that, like Arto is a very good example of what Arto has done over the several years. Arto and his collaborator can actually get real physics out from that. And I will say here one heavy claim. Those things what Arto and the others are doing, we will get the better physics out from that than in most cases using a VLT-sized telescope. If you look at many papers which has recent years, despite the huge 10-meter class telescope, of course, nice spectrum, nice modeling and all kind of parameters, but mostly like all kind of Tingle, Dagnalan and more data and TV. And okay, we got with this parameter, this spectrum fits well. But the big questions, when the 1A supernovae are coming, for example, and these kind of fundamental questions or very fundamental questions in astrophysics, I guess you get most cases get more answers having something which you can monitor over years, and especially our system is very ready to turn somewhere where it's interesting happens. Something which you cannot say to academics in different countries which give the money for the big telescope. Because there has been almost every country in recent years the demand you should close the most smaller telescope, like in La Palma. Well, now right now this has started. Right now they are soon starting to, you know the better, but they start with the very first time to destroy the small telescope in La Palma, which is KDR, the Swedish telescope this time. And you can then just wonder what next. And also the La Silla was closed 2 years ago to close La Silla, where the Paraná was running so well. And despite the La Silla telescope, medium-sized telescope, produces huge amount of paper every year. But some bureaucrats wanted to get something to close. But Anders Kaufer managed to save it with this 2010 plus plan, so that the La Silla will stay more or less there. But still, there's a constant threat that they will close this monitoring telescope.
Yeah, so it's of course always a matter of money.
Yeah,
Finding that.
but you get small telescope are cheap.
Yeah. So if you can secure funding for them, if you get enough funding for all of your telescope, it's essentially good when the sort of cutting edge or what people want to talk as cutting edge science advantage towards bigger and bigger telescopes, because that means that if you still can operate a small telescope, you get more time with it, and you get this time coverage. And for those who were here in the morning, when I said that time is one of the most important instruments that we can have in astronomy, it is what I meant. Because time is very good. Time coverage is immensely important, but it's also from big telescope it's pretty much impossible to get because it's so competitive.
Yeah.
So for that you either need dedicated small telescopes or very interested and involved amateurs.
Yeah, actually that's mostly it needs amateurs because. Well, like in Finland, is a very good example. We have now many active clubs which have a half-meter-sized telescope and good CCDs. And so even with this climate, they can collect a nice data. And of course, that what the Arto had is a robotic telescope in like Atacama is just a superb example of that.
You also have a telescope as well.
Okay, well, then you know exactly. But despite that I'm a professional astronomer, I really underline the importance of monitoring of small telescope.
Yeah. Long term.
Yeah, long term.
There is this catchphrase that many people are saying that you should do big science with small telescopes.
People are doing it.
Yes.
And also another question is that if there's something interesting happen, you should turn the telescope there. Okay, you have to send an application, half-year period. Okay, next deadline will be within a few months, and then you cannot. Okay, then there are those programs for supernovae, like where it's a certain trigger if there will be the warning of the supernovae, they will turn or either gamma reversal. Okay, but it works in something like a gamma reversal. Okay, but still, like this, what exactly what Arto has done. these kind of all kind of outbursts of the normal, whatever. You cannot get easily these for like such a program like they have in the gamma reverse. Yeah. But I really like to have lots of small telescope. If I would have to make a choice, which one you like, with the big monster or lots of the small, of course. I would say lots of the small, definitely. Yeah.
Okay, you also have targets.
What?
You have targets, or you know about CBA, there is a period astrophysics.
Sorry.
CBA, you know CBA, I mean, we're working for CBA.
I know, I know that, yeah. Yes, I have some targets which I might propose to you and Arlo if you, there are, But I would guess that you will soon get even more and more ask proposals from professional astronomers, especially like this KBA will be closed. I think there's people in Finland who have been used, probably they have a contact already. That's you see. You can see how important it is to have this monitor telescope. Yeah. Okay, but I might show a few examples, which is a good example of despite this project had even both big telescope and small telescope. Arlo has monitored this T-Pyx very long time for Brad Schaefer as a main collaborator, and we got the last year not fast track series program observation for spectropolarimetry outputs. Actually, the fast track series program normally the spectropolarimetry is not impossible, but we asked it and Thomas said, okay, it can be done. And I can show you some results, but not very preliminary results. And I will talk about more. And we got the VLD run, which is still I'm analyzing there. Yes, but this is the spectropolarimetry. The polarimetry results from the T-Pyx because in northern prism. We got the 4 hours, which are actually about 2 different orbital cycles of this. And okay, it's a little bit noisy, but mostly it's like this. You can say it's close to 0. This is done so that you see the point here is equals 15 data points. It's a heavy beam to get the error smaller. So each beam has 15 data points here. Because and with the Prism 4, it started somewhere a little bit below 5,000, but it's actually started working better just a little bit after 5,000, and it extends long to the 9,000 something actually. But here in the 9,000 ohm something, the flux is very weak. But here in principle, okay, it has something here, but in principle, if you look how the scatters, they are close to 0. So okay, and in most cases it's like that. Most like that. But what I then noticed in few cases was like that. What? Compared to other spectrum and as well as polarimetry. Here you can have a very clear like you can see this exactly the cyclotron humps, and here it goes up to the in the negative side 7,000 amps and goes back, and this is not okay. If it would have been just one example. But then later it happens similar. Okay, similar happens later. If just one measure, one spectrum would be aerobics, but then later, whereas normally it shows like next spectrum like that, almost nothing. But then 2 spectrum from this 2 different. Okay, the spectrum is so that because it has to take 2 different angles, so this is about 1.11 orbital phase when it's collected, when integrating and take a different angle. But this cannot be aerobics. But then what is so interesting that if you think about it, of course, in a 1 square orbital period, this does not match the time difference, but this does not match at all with the orbital period from photometry. It is very well calculated by Arlo and Brad. It's very accurate calculated photometrically. But when this happens, doesn't match that at all. I don't know exactly how to explain this. It's very weird. But I know that these are not rubbish. And now I'm analyzing the
VLT data, we got the blue prism and red prism. So I'm still wondering what's going on.